blast off. Hey y'all, what's shaking? It's your girl, Soul Sister Shelley. My goodness, I've been sitting here for about 30 minutes, like, I got my note card and I was like writing notes, and see, I don't have a whole lot of notes, but I've been walking around talking to myself for the last hour. And I was like, daggone it, Shelley, when are you going to learn that you do so much better when you just say what you need to say? I swear, y'all, if somebody would just mic me sometimes, I've always talked to myself, always. Since I was a little girl, I would talk to myself. In all my careers, I have talked to myself. I've had bosses walk past like my office and my cubicles and say to me, Shelley, who you talking to? I'm like, meh, I'm just working, talking to myself. I talk to myself a lot. And I've been talking to myself for the last hour about, I'm so sick of this. I'm just so sick of this. I quit. I quit. I'm so sick of this. I quit. And I'm sitting here trying to make notes because the teacher's in the building. I'm like, grab your paper, grab your pen. The teacher's in the house again. Thank you for the love. I appreciate you. And I'm like, I'm in the camper and I'm sitting here and I'm trying to write down stuff. I'm like, oh, I do have an outline. And I've told you all before, I get nervous. I get nervous every time I come on live. I've been doing this forever, y'all. I mean, when I say forever, since like 2021, you wouldn't believe. I honestly get nervous every single time I pop on. After 5 to 6, 7, 8 minutes, I get in flow and I'm not nervous anymore because I start saying what I need to say. It starts coming from my heart. But I've told you all before, if you don't follow me, follow. You're missing out because I drop truth bombs. So, hey, Kevin. Hi, Kev. You know, Kev, you've heard me say before, I'm like, I'm always nervous. I get nervous. I get nervous that I always want to say the right things at the right time for the right people, and I never want to offend anybody. Hi, Eric. Thanks for hopping on. My intentions is always to spread love and good vibes and not to be all unicorns and rainbows or anything, but that's always my intention. So I get nervous when I want to drop a word like I'm going to drop right now, like I quit. I'm sick and tired because this is a word. It's like, you know, when you're there, the word, this isn't even a word. This should have been a phrase for Friday. This is Soul Sister Shelley on Sunday. This should have been a phrase for Friday. Like, I quit. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if you all knew how many times, holy smokes, how many times I wanted to quit. Jeez Louise. I had a hard cry in the shower, I guess. Maybe it was on Friday. I don't know. I always cry in the shower. That's where I cry. Show some love if that's where you cry. I don't usually let people see me cry. I cry in the shower. It goes down the drain. That's who I am. Being a single mom of 2 kids, I never wanted my kids to let my kids see me cry. So I always waited till I went to take a shower to cry. And so I had a really hard cry, like snot coming out my nose and everything on like Friday. And I was like, I'm tired, y'all. I'm just so tired. And we get tired. And let me say this. You know, my notes that I'm coming with, like, I don't know if anybody can see that. I know it's backwards. Denial, blame, justify, complain, quit. Denial, blame, justify, complain, quit. And then I wrote, I'm sick of this. Can y'all see that? And then I wrote, you start fighting battles that don't exist. And I just wrote, you start fighting battles that don't exist. And then I drew an arrow. I mean, when I brainstorm and stuff. And then I wrote, I'm sick of this. But that's what this live's going to be about, y'all. That's what this live is going to be about. This is not a word of the day like Soul Sister Shelley. So like grab your notebooks, grab your pens. The teach is in the house again. I did a 3-day business breakthrough workshop with the mastermind community, which is like Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi. There was this beautiful, most amazing teacher. I wanted to tag him in this. Hi, Chris. Hey, Kit. Hi, Scott. How are you, my love? Most beautiful teacher for 3 days. It was 8 hours, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 11 to 7. Hi, Ronald Ray. How are you, darling? I love you all. Show me some love. I'm emotional on this one. Show me some love, fam. Come on now. I quit. I'm tired. Y'all ever been tired? I'm tired. But anyways, he was the most phenomenal teacher. On day 3, he said he was from West Virginia. And I'm from West Virginia. So any of my followers, any of the people from West Virginia that watch this, like when you hear somebody's from West Virginia, I don't know about y'all, but for me, I'm like, he even made a joke. It was the cutest thing. He goes, yeah, something about having all his teeth and something like that. It was so cute. I was like, I'm in the chat and I'm like, yeah, me too. I got all my teeth too. I didn't say that, but I was like, yeah, Nate's his name and I think his last name is Harris. I'm not sure. But he has such a beautiful story of redemption and about, trying to succeed and failing and being through things and being so down and out and just wanting to quit. And this is Nate's lesson. That's why I wanted to tag him. I don't know where he got it from, but like I told you all in my last live, a lot of the things that I teach, I've got, like, this is not all Shelley's brain power. You know, success leaves clues. I follow and listen and take down and get nuggets of wisdom, and then I spit them back out. I take them in and I spit them back out so that you all can live an abundant life full of peace, love, and joy. So he put this out on that day during the 8 hours of, I think, day 3. And I was writing it on my dry erase board, and I was saying to myself as I'm writing it on this Zoom live, I'm like, I love this. I love this. And what he was talking about in this training was about sales and people's objections to sales. But I think it is so applicable to so many things in our lives, things we personally do, things in relationships. This was applicable to sales. But he was talking about stages of what we do when we're not sure or we want to quit. I mean, like the last stage is quit. But most of the time, when we're in a precarious situation, meaning a situation that just doesn't make sense or makes us uncomfortable or we don't like, or it makes us, our flesh is going against it and we're like, this doesn't feel good. He said, like, when you ask somebody for a sale, like first thing is denial. Like, nah, I don't really need that. Well, like it's in a relationship or where you do something wrong. I started thinking about all the times in my life where I've gone astray, or any times in my life where someone else has done me wrong. Let me try to stay on task. How should I take this, Spirit? I'm going to take it 2 ways. Let me start with this because, since the last couple lives that I've done, so let me stay on task and theme. I I did a live on being ruthless, and my cutoff game is strong. And then I did a live on betrayal. So I guess let me stay in that lane first. But I'll take it back to me, because I'll take it back to us. I don't ever like to I like duality. I like to say, this is how some people do these kind of things. Hey, Nicole, what's up? I don't like to do any of my lives like me, like pointing triggers. I don't do that. I like to think about how it's applicable to us personally, how we can apply it to us, and how it applies in the outward in our outside world. But since my last couple lives were about being ruthless and about betrayal, let's start there. And then I'll flip the script, because I always do. Because I can always see both sides of the story. I always do. That's a beautiful gift. I'm not like patting myself on the hat, or on the back, or toot my own horn, but beep, beep. But yeah, I always do. I have an eagle's eye view. I love that about me. That's one of my gifts. But listen, when somebody screws you over, let's start there. Okay. First thing they're going to do, for those of you who've just popped on, I know it's backwards, but the first thing they're going to do is deny it. It didn't happen, did it? It didn't happen. And it surely didn't happen the way that you thought it happened. And if it did happen, they're going to make it out to be that it happened in a different way. Well, and then if they can't get around this whole denial thing, fam, then it changes the blame. It was your fault. Well, it was your fault that I did that. Which turns over quick like to the justify. If you wouldn't have done this, then I wouldn't have done that. What? And then they're going to complain. Now listen, like I said, I'm going to flip the script, because we do this too. So stick with me. So they'll deny it. Then they'll blame you. Then they'll justify it. Yeah. I only did it because if you woulda answered the phone, if you woulda came home sooner, if you woulda, And then, ooh, this one's a good one. Then they'll complain. Oh, woe is me. That's where the victim mentality comes in. That's where it comes in. I can't believe this is happening to me. I can't believe you left me. I can't believe my life is in shambles. I can't believe the karma caught up to me. I cannot believe this. Nobody loves me. That's the complaining. Nobody cares about me. They denied what they did. Then they blamed you. Then they justified it. Then they complained. Hold up. That's a bar, y'all. Hold up. Denial, blame, justify, complain. Hold up. Put this in. Look, the teacher's on a roll right now. Abracadabra, BIs. My comeback kings and queens. Denial, blame, justify, complain. Denial, blame, justify, complain. Denial, blame, justify, complain. Denial, blame, justify, complain. Thank you, Nate. I thank Harris. Like I said, this was a sales lesson, but I was like, ooh, this is so good. I was like, en fuego, on fire, Nate Harris, I hope, from West Virginia, my fellow mountaineer. But yes, denial, blame, justify, complain. And then the final nail in the coffin, quit. If you stick with me, I'm going to tell you how we do this. I can tell you how I do it. I can tell you how I do it. But when it's done to you, you know, when somebody manipulates you, tries to control you, does you dirty, you know, the slander. Oh my gosh, the cheating, the lying, the stealing. The receipts, all those receipts you have, all those records. Like I said, if you don't follow me, you should follow me. Hey, Herm. Hey, Emily. Emily, how are you? Hi, Emily. How are you, my love? But yes, you know, if you don't follow me, but you should, please, not because I'm on an ego trip, because I've got some momentum right now, and I speak truth because the truth comes from up there, and it's given to me through here, and then I spit it to you all. That's the only reason you need to listen, because I get divine truth. But you know, when people are in that mode, I mean, that is exactly what they'll do. Yeah, that is, shoot, it's gaslighting at its finest. It's gaslighting. Let me put that in the comments right now. Somebody put hashtag gaslighting. I had somebody ask me the other day, what is gaslighting? Like, well, they said, I said to them, you cannot gaslight me. I didn't say it like that. I'm being all badass right now. But I was like, yeah, no, you can't gaslight me. And they were like, gaslight? Like, what's that? Which, you know, okay, ignorance is bliss, I guess. Like, you can't try to tell me that something happened that didn't happen. I'm like, I'm way beyond that. Like, you just can't. Anybody that doesn't know what gaslighting is, let the teach be in the house. It came from like the 1920s, I believe. And it came from, I believe it's from a movie. So listen, let me not get much facts straight, but, it was about these gas lights that were lit, and this woman had this significant other that was telling her that they weren't lit when they were lit, or something like that. But what gaslighting is when somebody tries to make you believe things that just didn't happen. So let me give you a personal example. I was with somebody for a long time, and this is a simple example, but I remember coming in one night, and this was 6 or 7 years into our relationship, and I threw the keys on the table. And he picked up the keys and put them somewhere else. And I knew daggone well keys to his truck. I had taken his truck that evening instead of my car. And he picked them up and put them somewhere else. And then he asked me where the keys were. And I said, well, you know, they're on the table. And he told me, no, they're not, Shelley. And I was like, yeah, they are. I put them there when I walked in with the groceries and everything, and I put the groceries away. I set them on the table. But he had done that so many times that I was like, did I not put them on the table? I started really questioning my own sanity. Gaslighting is like making you question your own sanity, and it's a very slow fade. You start asking yourself, like, wait a minute, did I do that or didn't I do that? And if you're a responsible, smart human being that does things pretty scheduled, you're like, wait a minute, yes, I did. But the people that gaslight are very good at starting to make you believe that you've done things that you didn't do. And you're like, what? And then it turns into a fight. And they're like, all I asked you to do is one simple thing. Put the keys on the table. I'm like, I put the keys on the table. I did. I remember I did. Now this isn't any time recently. This is why I know the things that I know now. This is like a 2017 story, fam. But Yeah, anyway, anybody that will do things that manipulate and try to control, first they'll deny it, then they'll blame you, then they'll try to justify it, then they'll complain like they're the victim. They'll hit victim mentality. And then if you're lucky, this is what I loved about this, if you're lucky, then they'll quit. They'll quit. You want to know why they'll quit? Here's what's the fantastic part. If you're lucky, they'll quit because you catch on. Because you got people like me telling you, like, yo, bro, sis, my comeback, kings and queens. I am a rising phoenix. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Usually, they'll... Oh, Giselle. Look at those heels, y'all. Hey! Shelley, why you gotta wear shoes like that? Because I want to be a little bit taller. I want to be a bala. Yeah, and then they'll quit. If you're lucky. They'll quit. But let's talk about how this happens in our own life as well. When we do things that are less than fabulous, this is part 2 of this live. I want to quit. This is like, yo, like, shall I get an intermission? Where's my 5-star drink? Teach put on her glasses, take a break. How do we do this in our own lives, y'all? Because I'll tell you what, when he was just, like I said, this was on a sales thing. If you get people on sales, and I've been in sales. Ooh, I don't like these ones. I want these other ones. I want these. My little readers. I had LASIK surgery. Turns out, like, when you're nearsighted and you get LASIK surgery to see far away, it doesn't stop you from having to, you know, have to put on readers. I like them, though. I think they're cute. Okay, so this is part 2. How far in am I? I don't know. Oh, my do not disturb just went off. Hope nobody calls me. Hang on. All right. Sorry, y'all. I had to go get some more food. This is my new addiction. This is my new addiction. Definitely have had worse. So that, and I have there's this new thing at 5-star that I like a lot. A shout out to 5-star. So anyways, how do we do this to ourselves, fam? You know how you get sick and tired of being sick and tired? Well, listen, how about have you ever just been, I'm sick of this. I'm just so sick of this. When I said at the beginning of the live how, like, I had this hard cry in the shower, I'm like, I'm just so tired now. I'm a person of faith. Well, I'm a person that's like, well, I have a very, I would say a very well-rounded, like, I believe in the universe, the stars, all the things that are way out there. I believe in Jesus. I read the Bible hardcore, the Kabbalah, like anything that I can get my hands on that expands my brain, I'm on it. Like anything. There's nothing out of my reach. Like, I'm a lifetime learner, and I don't necessarily subscribe to anything. I just know that I'm still standing and I'm alive, y'all. There's got to be something orchestrating this. I'm not necessarily sure what it is, but I can guarantee you there's something. Because I have That's why in my last live, I'm like, if anybody knows anyone who writes scripts or movies or anything else, I got a story. I have 5 different times I should have died. Straight facts. Golly. I think that's why I was crying the other night in the shower. I was thinking about these 5 times. I'm like, why am I still here? 5 like tragic type things I should have died from. Not to mention the stuff that I've come out of. And I'm still happy and still smiling. I mean, like, my gosh. That's why I'm here, you know? Sharing with you all. Because sharing is caring. There is no reason, like, the times where I don't want to share, I have to get myself out of my head and be like, Shelley, daggone it, you're still walking. You're still on this earth. You're just not just still here. You're still smiling. You're still happy. You still have love in your heart. Like, something is bigger and badder than you. And, like, if you don't tell people about it or share it, then something ain't, like, that's pretty selfish, Shelley. Look, I'm getting choked up because it is. I even had my best friend, shout out Collie Nudge. We had a 5-hour conversation last Friday on the phone, like we were in a slumber party when we were 15 or something. I've known her since I was a kid, and she straight facts told me she called me out. She said that, you know, if you don't start talking about stuff, your story and stuff, like I'm doing a disservice to the world. So thank you, Collie Nudge. I love you for that. Facts. I'm not going to cry. But anyway, so how do we do that? How do we gaslight ourselves? Because I was talking about gaslighting, and we can gaslight ourselves. We can lead ourselves to believe that, like, things didn't happen the way that they happened, and they did, fam. This whole thing right here, this whole denial, blame, justify, complain, denial, blame, justify, complain. We gaslight ourselves. Straight facts we do. We deny that things happen the way they did. Now, that could be something that we have done that have put ourselves in. Hey, Calvin. Hey, Matt. Matt, what up? I don't ever drop last names when I'm, like, doing lives, because I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but I always know when I see somebody from back home. That's cool. That's cool. And I love it. Look. I do. I always love. Look at that love. I love it when I see people from back home. You come from humble beginnings. It just adds to the story, y'all. When you walk, how's the saying go, fam? I'm digressing, but when you walk 5 miles uphill both ways, or something like that. Anybody from West Virginia that hears this and knows, like, when you live on Pine Hill Road. All right, people from all around the world hear this stuff. I lived in the mountains of West Virginia. It was beautiful. It was great. It was fabulous. Buses couldn't get to me when it snowed, though. And buses could get other places. But school would get canceled because buses couldn't get to me. And that was fine because, you know, there's nothing wrong with being snowed in. Except when, thank God we didn't have thank the good Lord we didn't have social media. Because everybody downtown's having a good time. And everybody up on the hill snowed in. Like, literally super snowed in. Snowdrift 6 feet high snowed in. Y'all be having a good time down in Glendale, West Virginia. You live in Sherrard or Limestone, West Virginia, you ain't going nowhere. Cameron, you're not going anywhere. Thank goodness my stepfather, we had a snowplow. I lived on a lane with only 3 houses. I don't have any idea why I'm sharing this, but like literally I did. I ran up. It was about a mile I ran uphill. At least a half mile I ran uphill to catch my bus. Threw up one morning. Didn't have to go to school that day. There was a lot of snow that morning. All right, so don't gaslight yourself. Where am I at on time, yo? I don't even know. I'm not timing myself. Because we can deny things that we do, and we can deny things that happen to us. I know that I denied things that happened to me as a child. I know I denied things that I did that obviously made me feel really bad about myself. Gosh, I'm so glad I'm on the other side of the wheel, fam. And I don't say that in a self-righteous way. I say all the time to you all that we're all on our own journey, and that's a fact. I'm just super grateful, and I want you all, I share, because sharing is caring. Hey, Chip. Hey, Calvin. Thank you all for hopping on. If you don't follow me, hit follow, hit notify when I go live. Please and thank you. You don't want to miss the good stuff. But I'm just so glad that I had these epiphanies and I share, because being in the valley of that darkness where you don't get it, where you just don't get it, and you learn all those tough lessons. Like, I wish somebody would have told me this when I was making decisions, and then I would deny, like, no, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Or something happened in my life, and I'm like, that didn't happen to me. Like, I would be in complete denial that it even happened. I would just shelf it. I mean, I went through a ton of therapy, y'all. I went through 18 months of therapy pretending stuff didn't happen. That did happen. I walked around this rock that we live on, living a professional life and living in a world that was complete blasphemy. Like, just completely, no, that didn't happen. It never happened. That never happened. Denial, you're gaslighting yourself. You gaslight yourself when you say, I didn't do it, or that didn't happen to me. I didn't do it, or that didn't happen to me. So I told you there'd be a part 2. I went off about how people do that to you. Yes, people do it to you. Be aware of it. Recognize it. Call their ass out. Cut them off. My cutoff game is strong. I see it a mile away. Yeah, I see it a mile away. But I also recognize it in myself. I don't pretend things don't happen that happen. When things go wrong, or when I do something that is not to my standard of who I want to be, or who I'm striving to be, I'm like, that wasn't cool, Shelley. You shouldn't have done that. Or if something happens and I try to dismiss it and try to let somebody slide, I'm like, no, that's not cool. I'm not going to deny that happened. And then I'm also not going to deny it for myself, deny that I did something and then blame somebody else. I'm not going to do that. Pretend I didn't do it and blame somebody else. How many times can I set this up? Denial, blame, justify, complain. I am not going to deny I did something, blame somebody else, justify my actions, and then complain about it like I'm the victim. I don't do that. Don't do that, fam. That's not the keys to an abundant life. That's not the pathway to peace. That's not, that's not peace, love, and joy. It's just not. That is oh, look it. I'm fired up. If you don't take accountability for your actions, and other people don't either, okay, first of all, you need to release them. Release them. And if you don't, if we don't, if I don't, if you don't, no, you're not going to get anywhere. That's where the train doesn't move. You know how they say nobody can stop a train? Choo-choo. The train doesn't leave the station on that. Oh, The train does not leave the station when you do not take accountability for your actions. When you deny what you've done, when you try to when you deny and you blame and you justify, complain, the train doesn't leave the station. The only way you grow is when you own. I knew this was going to be a good live. When I walk around and talk to myself for an hour, I'm like, I know I got something to say. When you walk around and deny what you've done, what we have done, what I have done, like I said, this is not, I don't ever like to preach. I teach. I don't preach. I teach. I teach. The teacher's in the building. When I walk around, when we walk around, when they walk around and deny what they've done, when we walk around and blame other people, when we try to justify our actions, when they complain like it's our fault, like I'm flipping the script, see, y'all see what I'm doing? Like it's duality of it. And then, you get to a point, hey Jennifer, you get to a point, you just want to quit. And quit, I'm sick of this. Because what happens, you get sick of yourself. You get sick of yourself or you get sick of other people. It depends on where you are in this narrative, okay? All right? Because you eventually get sick of other people's antics. And you're like, I'm sick of you denying this. I'm sick of you blaming me. I'm sick of you justifying your actions. And I'm sick of you complaining and acting like, thank you for the love, like you're a victim. I'm sick of it. I quit. Or another person may go on and on and on until they have no more energy trying to deny, blame, justify, and complain, and they quit. That's a dub. Because you're like, finally they gave up. Or you get sick of yourself. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to give a full, like this is a 360 on the teach right now. Or if this is you, if this is us, you're like, I'm sick of denying it. I'm sick of blaming other people. I'm sick of justifying my actions. I'm sick of complaining. I'm sick of myself. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I quit. This is BS. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of me. I'm sick and tired of being, like, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, I used to have that in my office. The house that I sold, I had that in my office. It was one of the first things I put on. I'll never forget it because I still have it. But I printed out something and it said, for you to change, you must be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now let me try to say it again. Let me say it again. Are you sick and tired? Like, this is how I would present it. Are you sick and tired? Well, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? You got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, that's really freaking sick and tired, fam. Like, that's like, I'm so sick and tired. That's like where the rubber meets the road, yo. I'm so sick and tired. You start fighting battles that aren't even yours. You start taking it out on people that don't deserve it. You start fabricating things in your mind that don't even matter. You start projecting on to other people that don't deserve it. People start projecting onto you when you don't deserve it. Because they're so sick of themselves, or they're so sick of themselves. I just want you all not to get there. So here is my lesson. Hey, Todd. Here's my lesson of the night. At the end of the day, you have to recognize this. You You have to recognize this stuff. This blessing. You have to recognize this type of pain. Because when you're sitting in denial and you're sitting in blame and you're sitting in justifying and you're sitting in complain, you have to recognize this pain. If someone's doing it to you or you're doing it to your daggone self, if someone's gaslighting you or you're gaslighting yourself, if you're in denial and blame and justify and complain, it is pain. All it is pain. It's just pain because like you're avoiding, and I'm preaching myself, y'all. Trust and believe, fam. Anything I ever teach, and I have for the last 3 years, is not anything that I'm just like out here like, like I know. I don't, like, it's not like I read it from a book and I just want to tell you about it. I walk the walk and I talk the talk. I wish I didn't, Will. No, I don't even mean that. Thank you for the pain. It made me raise my game. Put that in the comments, somebody. Thank you for the pain. It made me raise my game, but stop with the blame. Stop with the complain. Like, yo, it doesn't do anybody any good. For you or anybody else. If anybody's doing that BS to you, you just tell them, keep it moving. Snip, snip. Snip, snip. Like, you can't gaslight me. I gaslight myself enough. I cry enough for my own daggone tears. Like, you don't need to give me that, like... Recognize it. Recognize what you're doing to yourself. Don't sit in that. I mean, like I said, I've been like, what, so many times in my life, I've just been like, I'm sick of this. I want to quit. I'm just so sick of this. And then I would blame myself and then I try to justify my actions and you know, and these are really not in any specific order. I don't believe, when I brought this, I have no idea why your call just came through. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. But these, I don't believe these are in any specific order. Like I said, these were rebuttals. These were like objections to a sales cycle. People will deny that they need whatever product you're selling. They'll blame somebody else, like my husband won't let me buy it, or I don't know, whatever, and then justify it like, nah, I don't have the money, or complain like the product's not good enough, or whatever. But when he dropped these, and then they'll just quit, or they'll complain like, whatever, I can't learn this, or whatever. You all feel me? But as soon as he dropped these, I was looking at them and I just was like, the Shelley squirrel. I was like, dang, this is so legit. This is so life. Don't we do this all the time? Don't other people do this to us? Don't we do this to ourselves? Denial, blame, justify, complain. And y'all know how I love bars. So I was like, denial, because I knew it was something it'd be easy for me to remember, and hopefully for you all too. Like I said, if you don't follow me, or if you do, you know I'm always like, sometimes I just pop off with stuff and I'm like, ooh, that was good, but this is deny, blame, justify, complain. Denial, blame, justify, complain. Put that shit on the, are you allowed to say that? Put that shit on the shelf. Where they do that at? Nobody got time for that. That's so and I'm talking to myself. That is so wasteful. Such wasteful energy. And then people often quit, and I don't want y'all to quit. So everything leading up to the quitting part of it is all that energy you're spending with all those extra actions. And if anyone in your life is spending that energy towards you, recognize it. Just recognize it. Yo, they're denying this. Yo, they're blaming me. Yo, they're justifying it. Trying to give me all these stupid AF excuses. Yo, now they're complaining. Oh, yo, they're a victim. And then, eventually, like I said earlier, then they're going to probably quit. Like if you catch this red flag 1, red flag 2, red flag 3, red flag 4, they're probably going to quit because they're going to be like, yeah, they can't spit their game on you. Sorry, not sorry. You heard it here first. The teacher's in the house. For all my comeback kings and queens, don't gaslight yourself and don't let anybody gaslight you. You heard it here first. Okay? I'm sick of this. Choo choo. Nobody can stop a train. Don't let this happen to you. You heard me? If you don't let this happen, if you call this stuff out, guess what? They'll quit. And if you call yourself out on this stuff, you won't quit. If you call yourself out on this stuff, when you stop denying, when you stop blaming, when you stop justifying it, when you stop complaining, you won't quit because you'll recognize you're making excuses. You're not taking accountability. Rising phoenixes, comeback kings and queens, rise up. They don't do this. We don't do this, fam. We don't do this. I mean, I do it. I've done it. That's not how you come back. That's not how you come back. You take accountability. What could I have done differently? How can I do better? How will I not let that happen again? What I need to do to change things. Yeah. You heard me? Ooh. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all see my fire? I hope that helps somebody. Y'all see my shoes? Yeah. Woo! Anywho. All right. I hope that helps someone. Look at my little lame notes. Thank you, Nate Harris. I hope that's your name, Nate. And thank you, Mastermind. It was a 3-day business breakthrough workshop, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 hours each day, 11 to 7. It was game changer. It was like abracadabra. All right, I love you all. I do. I see you. And I see you. All right. I love you all. I hope everybody's doing well. Hey, my PayPal is at soulsistershelley with an EY. I have Cash App and Venmo. And I also have a YouTube channel. It's at I'm a Rising Phoenix. That's what my TikTok is, I think. I'm really trying to get... Never mind. It don't matter. I love you all. And I share because sharing is caring. So, I am going to... You know what I'm going to do, y'all? You know what I'm going to do. Craig Meredith, where are you at? Craig Meredith, where are you at? He's my favorite. I'll tag you in this, Craig, so you can see it later. All right, so I want you all to live an abundant life. That's why I share, because sharing is caring. So I'm sending you all good vibes. Hey, share this with somebody if you think it could help someone. You never freaking know. Like, yo, seriously. There's so much of this going on. And this is not me just running my mouth. I don't just talk to hear myself talk. I talk because I know things. That's a fact. All right? So, I'm sending y'all good vibes. Lots and lots of good vibes. Peace, love, and joy. Smooches. Peace.